Hello, welcome to my live on YouTube. Today is Saturday, the 19th of July, and it's just 4 o'clock in the afternoon, UK time. I'm going to stay here maybe 1 or 2 hours, depending on the flow, whereas there are people asking me questions or not. And for those who are new to my channel, I'm a therapist and coach, and I do my best to spend some time on the social media to spread some advice, recommendation, a little bit of DD love out there to those who need any help with their mental health, with their understanding of psychology, human behavior, anything to do with how we can enhance our quality of life from those places. And so what I normally do, I get started by reading and commenting on some of the posts that I put out this week on either TikTok or YouTube. And then, hopefully at some point when I'm done with that, some people will ask me some questions about themselves and we can get started interacting together. Lynn, good afternoon, Didi. How are you and your husband? Well, very well. Thank you so much for asking. How about you? So let's get started. Let me read some posts. Where am I? Today is the 19th. Okay, first one goes like this. Emotions happen to you. Thoughts are how you label them, and feelings are the experiences that you generate through the labeling of your emotions. So this is a short way to explain pretty much the mechanisms of the mind. So the way our mind is designed is that we create through our upbringing a belief system that is emotional and subconscious, and it's essentially a recap of all the things we've been through, the things we've been taught, the things we have observed up to this point. And those beliefs are going to trigger some emotions all throughout our days and nights as we go along in our life, based on what associations we have connected the cues that exist in the world with. So what I'm trying to say is that there's some external trigger and some internal triggers. External triggers being what we see, what we hear, what we witness, the people who are around us, and the internal triggers are what we think and how we feel. And because of the associations that we have created with any of those things, of those cues, whenever we come across those cues, and they happen all the time, all day long, all night long, then our body is going to generate some chemicals so that we can feel something. So that we know through the language of emotions and feelings, through that energy, what we should be feeling and how we should stay safe, pretty much. So first we have an emotion, and then after that, we're going to have a thought. And that's why I'm saying thoughts are how you label them. We're going to label the emotions that we're having in the moment, because we have a cognitive mind that needs to understand what is happening. So first we feel, and then we're going to create a thought that backs up that feeling. And this is the difficult part for many of us to understand, is that we are first and foremost creatures of feelings and emotions. We are not thinking creatures that feel. We are feeling creatures that think. It goes in that order. Our emotional mind is our subconscious mind, and it is 95% of our mind. Only 5% is cognitive. But people find it very difficult to accept this because they don't want to lose that illusion of control that they have by letting go of what we've been taught. Basically, everything happens here, and it's not true. Things happening in our body first. So first, emotions. Next, we're going to label the emotion by creating a narrative, a story that supports that emotion. And then, out of that thought, we're going to create some feelings. And so the difference between emotions and feelings is that emotions are raw, and they are very important for us to experience. And we can't avoid them. Our emotions are the program that we have put into place. And until and unless we work on it, it's going to be the program. So we can't control our emotions. It's not possible. When people say you should learn how to respond instead of reacting emotionally in the moment, it's not possible. We can learn how to upgrade our belief system after the event, so that the next time it happens, we don't react as intensely, and eventually we may be able to respond instead of reacting emotionally. But in the moment, when we react emotionally, there's nothing we can do about it. It is our program. And so those are emotions. Feelings are when we think about emotions. So now, when we're going to think about emotion, we're going to turn that emotion into a feeling. And the difference is that emotions are very intense, short, powerful, and they're very important to our human experience. Feelings, however, is us judging the emotion. And the feelings can last much, much longer. And they're held by our thinking about the emotion. I hope it makes sense. And so the examples are that the emotion of fear may turn into the feeling of anxiety. The emotion of sadness may turn into the feeling of depression. The emotion of anger may turn into the feeling of resentment. And the emotion of disgust may turn into the feeling of hatred. So they are just examples to kind of illustrate the difference between emotions and feelings. And so, let me repeat that quote, that post. Emotions happen to you, thoughts are how you label them, and feelings are the experiences that you generate through the labeling of your emotions. And so, what it means is that we must learn how to feel our emotions, how to let go of it, how to understand them, decipher them, learn from them, grow from them, and how to choose better feelings. Emotions are vital. We must not repress them, otherwise we're going to suffer from it. Feelings, however, are optional. So we can choose to entertain good feelings, feelings of happiness, for instance, feelings of gratitude, feelings of acceptance. But we don't have to suffer the feelings that are disempowering when we understand that process. I hope it makes sense. So that was the first post. The second post goes like this. Toxic positivity is when positive thoughts don't align with your emotional state. Positive thinking is when they do. And so there's been that conversation about positive thinking being toxic for a long time. And what people don't realize is that positive thinking in and of itself is not bad. The problem is when we have positive thoughts, but it doesn't align with how we feel. Because again, we have two minds and they are not working together. There's discrepancy. We need to make sure that whatever we think is in synchronization with how we feel. When we do this, this is what we call positive thinking. If we are in an emotional state that allows us to appreciate positive thoughts, then that's how positive thinking is very powerful and a great thing to practice. But if we don't feel right, that's when positive thinking becomes toxic positivity. If we're forcing ourselves to be happy, I want to be happy, I need to be good, I need to be positive, if we feel terrible about ourselves, then we're going to feel worse. So we don't want to do this. And we don't want to do this to others either. A lot of time, we are very happy and we may want to lift up someone that we know, and we don't realize that they are not in the same emotional space as we are, because we're luckier than them. But if we don't have empathy, then we may tell them, what's wrong with you? Be positive. But when we do this, we're making things worse for them. So there you go. Finally, the last post that I'm going to read and comment about before I talk to you guys directly goes like this. Not everyone had parents. Some of us had adults with trauma, authority, an extremely low level of emotional intelligence. And so this is to highlight a couple of things. We need to realize that people are people regardless of our age. But when we are children, we kind of look at our parents like mighty creatures. We put them on a pedestal. To us, they're like gods because they're our parents. They have power over us. And if we have had a difficult childhood because we didn't get along, because our parents didn't look after us the way we should have been looked after, then we're going to go through a lot of, we're going to have a lot of baggage, burden, blocks, problems to deal with all of adulthood. And one of the way to deal with that is to realize this. If you can realize that our parents were just humans before they were our parents, then it's easier for us to accept that the things that happened to us were not because of us. It was because of us and them and everything else. And we have just created a narrative based on our perception of the world then that was very limited because we were kids. And so it takes the pressure away, it takes the shame away. It helps do it. Right? And also in the long term, for some of us, not everyone, but if we can realize that our parents are only human and they did what they could based on their own burden and baggage and trauma, then some of us may be able to forgive them, which would be a great thing to do first and foremost for our own healing, but also to potentially reconnect with them at some point in the future for some of us, not many, but some of us. So there you go. Now, I'm going to read some comments. Hopefully, if you want to ask me anything about anything at all, I'm a therapist and coach. I am an RTT therapist and a clinical hypnotherapist. And although I specialize in depression, anxiety, addiction, anger issues, self-sabotage, and anything related to stress and trauma, I'm pretty much open to talk about anything at all. I've been doing this for a little while now, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so Lynn, I'm good, thanks. Good. Chris Smith, are you okay? I'm not going to read this. So every now and then we have some trolls. It's the nature of the social media. So this is very, very rude and very racist and very offensive, right? What you said. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to ignore all of the comments. I'm here to help people, so please stop doing this. I'm going to give you one chance. If you need some help, if you want to talk to me about something related to your mental health, I'm more than happy to do this. I don't take things personally, but I'm not going to tolerate any offensive and naughty comments. Okay? Heavy pockets. I once served my wife. So another joke that is inappropriate. I'm going to move on. Mr. Soccer. Hello. So I haven't got anyone that is in the same kind of mindset as the people that I'm trying to invite on my life yet. And so, guys, again, I'm a mental health professional, so please be kind. I understand that sometimes we're bored, and sometimes we can be angry and frustrated, and we can use the social media to vent our frustration by attacking randomly people that we don't know. And I understand that because I used to be the same in real life. I have some conditions, and borderline personality disorder is one of them. And I used to be very toxic to people in my life. But, and I understand that when we are into those spaces, we don't choose that. It's all that we know. So we behave the way we believe will make us feel a bit better about ourselves. So sometimes we may indeed find it very funny to attack strangers online or in real life. And so I understand this. I don't take this personally, but I'm here to help you out. So even you guys, if you need some help about your mental health, talk to me, right? I'm here to really help. I don't judge anyone, and I've been in those shoes for so many years and decades, and so I can really, really empathize with that. Lynn, what do you think about past life trauma? I don't specialize in that, but I understand this and I appreciate this. Some of my friends actually do. They do some work based on past life regression, and a lot of people actually find truth in that, and so it can be very helpful to the right people. A lot of people who've been doing a lot of work on themselves for a long time without success may finally find something that makes sense to them. So basically the idea behind this is that we reincarnate and we experience different things through each life, and there's a reason why everything is happening. There's a karma going on, and so basically we have a cluster of souls with whom with whom we experience life time and again. So what it means is that maybe in this life I am me, and people in my life are have the role that they have in my life. However, maybe in the previous life, I was my mum was my brother, my brother was my someone else that was very important in my life, and so forth and so on. We re-experience different things from different roles, because it's not because karma is not a punishment. It's not because we have done something bad. It's because we come into this life to experience ourselves. And so we want to find out what it is to have that human adventure. So maybe in one life I'm going to be happy, lucky, healthy. I'm going to be financially free. I'm going to be able to pursue my purpose. I'm going to be loved and famous. And maybe after that life I'm going to choose to have another life where I'm going to be in pain, I'm going to suffer, I'm going to be nasty, horrible to other people, because it is a human experience. And the people with whom I have shared a previous life, they're going to come back and we're going to change the roles. And this is pretty much how they would explain why they have whatever situation, whatever upbringing, whatever bad relationship, whatever illness in their body. All of those things can be explained through the process of hypnosis and returning into those past lives and understanding what happened then with whom. I hope it makes sense. And so, yeah, it's a very fascinating subject, and I've been thinking about exploring this myself with my friends, but we haven't had a chance yet because we all busy doing lots of different things. But I believe in everything. I believe that everything is possible. One of my fundamental beliefs is that there's no such thing as one reality. I believe in the multiverse. I believe in quantum realities. I believe that all realities exist at the same time, and we just move from one reality to another each moment, frame by frame, depending on our energy signature in this moment. Basically, we're going to experience the reality that corresponds the best to how we feel in this moment. So we're delving into spirituality here, but yeah. Honey in abundance. Hello. Shank, what is your religion? I don't have religion. I am very spiritual, and so what I do, what I call spiritual, is that I believe in everything and many things, and I pick up different things that work for me. Because when you think about it, religions and spirituality is no more or less than belief. A lot of people conflate religion with fact and science. Religion is not fact. Religion is a belief. It's what we believe, and so what it means is what we can believe, whatever we want to believe. People who are preaching religion as a fact, they're not doing right, because the whole point of religion is for us to have faith in it. So we must go. We must go toward it, as opposed to you must be forced to believe in it out of fear. And so, yeah, I believe in everything, and I accept all religions, as long as they are not trying to shove their truth down my throat. Lynn, I was told many years ago by a medium that I needed to go back to a past life to forgive someone, as that's why I am suffering in this life. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So some people understand, share some principles of everything that I just talked about in regards to past life regression. So the way that I see it is the people that I'm talking about are hypnotherapists like me. So there's a process of hypnosis, and we go back into those situations that were so crucial to how we feel now. And then we're going to do the same thing that I do with my clients without the past life element, which is basically to change the meaning of those situations. I mean, it's slightly different. With the past life regression, we understand some things about it. And by this process, we're changing the meaning of how we're feeling now. That's the difference. Without the past life element, when we go back into the memories of someone's childhood, for instance, the result is similar. It's just that, yeah, it is similar, and it depends. Sometimes people always knew what happened to them in childhood and how it affected them. And sometimes they don't even remember those memories. So in that case, that'd be similar to the past life regression thing. But essentially, it's about understanding us now based on what happened then, by changing how we look at ourselves in this life. Look at ourselves now. The way we see ourselves now is the only one thing that matters. If I could put it in a nutshell, everything about our existence is down to one principle: how we see ourselves in this life. That's it. It's that simple. The way we see ourselves is going to dictate, create, shape our reality. The world is not something that is unique and fixed and universal and the same for everyone. The world is just a blank canvas, and it's going to manifest itself in a way that is going to reflect how we feel about ourselves. I hope it makes sense. So by changing how we feel about ourselves, by changing how we see ourselves, we are literally changing our world, our interpretation, our experience of reality. Mumu, hello. Mumu, hello. What can you do if somebody constantly pushing your boundaries and you can't walk away? You have to walk away. You can always walk away. If you cannot do it physically because you are in prison, then you have to, we can talk about this, but we can always, the reason why you believe that you can't walk away is because you have some belief that are telling you that it's not possible. But your beliefs are mental prisons, mental barriers and fences. They are not real. They're holding you. And so we can talk about this. Do you want to tell me more about your situation specifically? If we do that, I could help you specifically, like now. If not, I understand that it's not easy to share our problems on the internet, and so I can work with whatever you give me. So let's try to delve into your comment now. You say, what can you do if somebody is constantly pushing your boundaries? So your boundaries are there for you to take action on. So there's a misconception of boundary here. Boundary is not, I don't like what you do, I don't like what you say, I don't like the situation. Boundaries means, if you keep doing that, if you keep saying that, I will be doing that. That's what a boundary is. So you're not applying a boundary just yet. You're just expressing how you feel, and it's a good thing to get started with, but this is not enough. Setting boundaries means, this is what I want, this is what I hope from you, what I expect from you, this is what I can give you. This is the neutral zone for you and I to communicate, to interact, and I will not tolerate anything that doesn't comply with those rules. If it doesn't work for you, it's okay, but then we're not going to be friends. We can't, it's not going to happen. And so the person that you are dealing with will test your boundaries, because that's how we find out whether or not you are serious. And so if you say they keep pushing the boundaries, it means that you're not taking action on them. It's very simple. For me, if I set a boundary and I say, stop talking to me like that, otherwise I'm not going to see you. The moment they do it, that's it, you're gone. It doesn't have to be nuclear. We can go, maybe I'm not going to see you for a couple of days, and then maybe you can get back to me when we are more calm and mentally clear. Then we can resume the conversation, and we'll expect some apologies from you. But this is what boundaries are, right? So first and foremost, you want to understand how to set the boundaries, how to apply them, how to take action on them. Otherwise, it's not a boundary. It's just you expressing that you're not happy about how they are treating you. And then you say that you can't walk away. And so I don't know exactly what your situation is. If you want to tell me more, that'd be very helpful. But unless you are physically not able to walk away, then we can always walk away. Your limitations are here and there, and we can talk about it. It doesn't have to be nuclear either. Again, we can talk about this. But I think the first element, the most important one, based on what you said, is to really understand the nature and the mechanism of boundaries. I hope it helps. Let me know, please. William A. Love your voice. Thank you so much, William. What are you doing on YouTube? I'm here to spread some love, some information, some recommendation, some support to people who need some help to understand anything connected to psychology, human behavior, relationships, how we feel, what we think, anxiety, depression, overwhelm, stress, burnout, any of those things, guilt, shame. I'm here to share a bit of my time and my experience to help people online, because I understand that being a therapist, I know that not everyone can afford professional help. And I know that also a lot of people don't know where to even get started. And so I'm here to basically give a little bit of karma payback. I had a lot of problems myself. I had a very, very difficult childhood, teenagehood, and early adulthood. And so I've got a lot of conditions. I dealt with them. I'm in a very good place now, much better place. And so I've been doing it for 8 years now. And I do my best to basically do my bit. I want to change the world. I want to live in a world that is kinder and better for everyone. And so this is my input. There you go. So if there's anything you like to talk about, just ask, and I will do my best to give you some advice, recommendations that are actionable, hopefully for you. Roshni, hi, hello Roshni. I am from India. Hello Roshni from India. Lynn, you explain everything so clearly. Oh, fantastic, thank you. Thank you. I never pursued it as I was afraid of what it might unearth. Similar reason, I won't do a family tree search. Okay, well, different. So this is the thing. There are lots of different protocols and a lot of different systems out there. And there's not one system that works for everyone. There is, however, at least one system that will work for you at this point in time in your journey. So whatever you feel, whatever your intuition tells you, just follow it. And at some point, you will find some people with the right tools that can help you in a way that is comfortable for you. Roshni, we love you, Didi. Oh, thank you so much, Roshni. That's very kind of you. I love you too. Hello, Hi, Didi. Long time no see. Yes, indeed. I had some health problems, and so I was not here last week. When I came back from Glastonbury, I had my gout, and so it started to get better. And then it came back again. So I was unable to work, to stand on my feet for another week. And it's only been the last 2 or 3 days that I'm back to normal. So I've done a live on TikTok a couple of days ago, and I'm here now on YouTube. And hopefully I'll be able to resume what I've been doing before, which is to come more often doing live streams on YouTube and TikTok whenever I have time and energy for this. Roshni, you are so sweet person. That's very kind of you. Thank you. How are you? I hope you are doing good. I'm well, just as I explained. Thank you. How about you? How are you doing? Josh from... So I'm going to avoid that comment. Someone that got lost again. So again, I'm not going to read anything that is not going with the tone, the energy of the live. And if anyone persists, I will have to remove them, because my aim is to create a safe space for people to talk about themselves. So there's a place and a time for everything. There's a time for silly jokes and nonsense. I get it. I enjoy laughter as well, but this place is really for me to help people. So please be kind and do ask if you need some help yourself. William, what to do if you are burnt out from work and want to do your own thing in business but don't know how to start? Okay, so that's a big question. Let's address this. If you are burnt out from work, it's because you're doing too much of something and not enough of something else. But also because whatever that you're doing is not providing you satisfaction. It's not making you happy. If you think about it, why are you burnt out? Because you are focusing on being productive as opposed to doing something that gives you some return, some reward, some satisfaction. So a lot of people do that because they are perfectionists, or because they are caught into the rat race and they've been told that they must be doing this, please everyone, people pleasers. And because of that, they're living a life that they hate. They're doing things that they don't like, and they're being burned out. If you enjoy what you do, if you're satisfied, then you can stop, you can rest, you can appreciate what you had. You get something out of what you've done. Burning out is when you just do, and you get nothing back. And so that kind of correlate with your next question. You want to do your own thing in business, and that's why you are burning out, because you're not doing what you should be doing. What you should be doing is to basically really focus on what you want to do for yourself. What is your project? What is your business? What is your passion? What is your company that you want to expand and develop and make success out of it? And so what I'd say, in order for you to address question 1, you must focus on question 2, which means to stop the burning out, you must realize that you are wasting your energy and your time and your focus and your happiness in a place that is not good for you. You have to change that belief. You've been doing it until now. It happens. We all do this at some point, at least at the start of our life, until we realize, I don't want to do this anymore. And so what you want to do is to organize, strategize. I want to move from here to there. So for most of us, it's going to take some time, some organizing, but you want to create a strategy that will allow you to move away from what you're doing now, to be in a place where you can actually be your own person and create your own company and work for yourself. And so by doing this, that will help you kind of remind yourself not to give 200% to a job, to a career that is not for you. And that will start to address the burnout. There's a lot of things we can do, but I'm not going to talk about it. You can learn how to do things that allows you to feel better. You can meditate, you can rest, all those things. They are things that we talk about. They're what we call common sense. What I really want to do is to show you the behind the scene, the subconscious kind of mechanism as to why you end up like that. And so basically, you have a belief that you must do this. Maybe I need to work and keep that job even though I hate it because it pays the bills. And no one wants to do that because we don't come in this life to pay the bills. Now, of course, many of us, we start in financial situations that are not very, very good. And so we need to do this in order to survive. But if we can realize that, if we can have a better relationship with money, we can realize that we can make money by doing things that we enjoy. And the sooner we accept this, the sooner we allow ourselves to let go of the fear, to trust the process, and to basically shift from a place of, I hate my 9 to 5, to I'm creating something that is going to reflect what I love. So focus on, so basically that explains the burnout. And now, how do you do your own thing in business? If you don't know how to start, you need to let go of what is holding you back. So whatever that we want to do, because we live in a Western thinking society, we think about what should I learn, what should I have, what should I do, what should I own? And we forget that in nature, you have what we call the yin and the yang. Sometimes you do, sometimes you let go, or you allow for things to happen. Sometimes you have, sometimes you give, and so forth and so on. There are two aspects to it, and we are only focusing on one aspect. And more often than not, the best way to do anything is not to do something new, is to let go of something that is holding us back. We have a lot of belief, we have a lot of habits of thoughts, habits of emotions and feelings, habits of actions and reactions, and all of those habits are running our lives. And what we want to do is to let go of some of the beliefs that are holding us back. And so I don't know what it is for you, but if you don't know where to start, that's because you're overwhelmed. Too many thoughts, too much noise, too much stress, too much pressure, maybe depression, anxiety, or any mental conditions, I don't know. And so because of that, your mind is jammed, it's overwhelmed. And it's not a surprise that you don't know where to get started, because there's always some noise happening, and your nervous system is always like that. And so you are in a state, physically, mentally, and emotionally, that will not allow you to find inspiration, because your priority in this moment is to address that overwhelm. So how do you address that overwhelm? But stop doing the things that are creating that state. Again, the burnout is when you do too much of something and not enough of something else. And so start to find ways to enjoy yourself. Learn how to accept that resting, chilling, doing things that are enjoyable are productive. They are productive ways to spend your time. We live with shame, guilt, pressure. Don't be so lazy. We associate our worth with our productivity. And because of that, we forget that we deserve to chill. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to enjoy ourselves. We deserve to smell the roses. We deserve all of those things. And not only do we deserve them, but we need them. Because if you don't do those things, if you don't enjoy yourself, if you don't rest and regenerate and recover from whatever that you're doing, then you won't be able to do anything because you're going to be overwhelmed. And this is what we call burnout, right? And so basically, question your whole life. and, and, uh, and we can talk about this, but you want to basically locate the beliefs that are holding you back. What are the beliefs that are preventing you to be yourself, to think clearly, to do the things that you want to do, to have inspiration and ideas and excitement? And it's a big topic because we're all vastly different. And so this is what I'm going to say based on what you just said. But if you can give me more details about yourself, I'm more than happy to delve more precisely into your situation and give you some more personal advice. William, thank you. Thank you. William, what do you do for work when you're not on YouTube? I'm a therapist. I am a clinical hypnotherapist and an RTT therapist. That's it. So I do this for a living, and I also create content on social media to spread some awareness. And I'm also writing books. So I'm working on my next book, and all of those things are basically all that I do. I'm obsessed with my work. I'm obsessed with mindset, with psychology, with therapy, with spirituality. I have ADHD, and so I can absolutely hyper focus over the things that I love, and this is what I love. I found my thing, and I've been doing it for professionally for 8 years. But I've been always obsessed with anything to do with understanding the nature of things. And for us to understand the nature of things, we must understand psychology, because whatever we experience in life goes through this first and foremost. Even what we call reality is going to be perceived from the senses that are going through the filters of our subconscious mind, what we call belief. And so there's not a single aspect of our life that is not affected by our mental and emotional setup. That kind of sucks. I wish you healing and good health moving forward. Thank you very much. I'm 95% back now. So thank you for the good words, and it's happening. Thank you. Chip asking me if I'm watching Manny Pacquiao tonight at 8 p.m. No, I'm not watching Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, for those that don't know, is a boxer. So it's a boxing conversation. I don't have much interest into boxing, I have to say. I used to have, because I used to be a strength and conditioning coach before I was a therapist, and I was specialized in combat sports. So I looked after some boxers, some Muay Thai fighters, some BJJ guys, all sort of different sports that I liked. But I never really had any passion for it. I find it interesting. I can watch a little bit of action and appreciate some things, but I am not passionate by any of those things. But if you enjoy it, I wish you great fun, Chip Osario, with Manny Pacquiao's fight tonight. I'm okay, just anxious about life, but I have a more pressing topic, kind of. Okay, let's see. Hit me. Go on, please. Chip, I hope Manny Pacquiao wins tonight. Okay, I wish that for you and to all of us who are supporting him. My father is toxic and always talks everyone down. Always been like that. I moved out, child protective services, okay, because trauma and my family couldn't provide the support I needed. Okay, so I'm glad that you managed to move. Let's see what happens. William, thank you. Makes sense. Okay, thank you very much, William. He thinks I moved out because I wanted to party, to drug, etc., which was never the case. And no matter how much we talk, I cannot convince him otherwise. So my advice to you, just based on what you've written so far, is don't try to convince him. Stop doing this, because as long as you're trying to convince him, he's got you under his thumb. He controls you. He controls how you feel. If he was toxic to you so much that you had to leave, it means that there's something wrong. You have to let go of him for now and work on yourself. If you had to leave home because he was so toxic, it means that he's damaged. And it means that he has damaged you as well. So why are you even talking to him at this point in time? Focus on yourself, work on yourself. And don't believe that you owe him anything. You don't owe him any explanation. You don't owe him any for things to make sense. It doesn't matter what he thinks. He lives in his world, you live in your world. As long as you allow him in your life, in your world, in your mental space, you're going to suffer. If you think about it, you have always suffered because of him. He has never given you what you needed. You didn't feel loved, you didn't feel accepted, you didn't feel safe, you didn't feel supported. And so what are you even doing? The reason why you're doing this is not your fault. It's because you have the belief that you must be loyal to your family. It's a belief that we have. But this is what I always say to people. You don't have to be loyal to anyone unless they deserve it. If you've done something to deserve your loyalty, of course, it will make sense that you are loyal to them. But if you are not loyal to them, if they didn't give you the love, the support, the acceptance that you needed, the safety that you needed, then what are you even doing talking with him? Let go. Don't try to convince him. It doesn't matter what he thinks. See him like someone else. Don't see him like, Dad, I need to get approval from Dad. Dad never cared about you. You suffer from that. You had to leave home because of Dad. And so at this point in time, focus on yourself, do your own work. And at some point, maybe over a few years, when you get better, when you understand more about yourself, when you're in a happier place, then you may go back to Dad and you may actually reconnect. It's possible. It may not happen. It may happen. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you work on yourself. All right? I hope it makes sense. Thank you for the heart. Bernard, hello, Didi Khan. Sorry if this question is off topic and not productive, but I always wanted to ask this. Where are you from? I'm happy to answer you. I was born in Paris, in France, a long time ago. My genetics is Chinese. My parents are from Hong Kong and originally from Canton and from different parts of China. And I've been living in the UK, in London, for a longer time than I've been living anywhere else. So there you go. Thank you for the heart. William, how do you fight that fear of survival? You don't have a fear of survival. Fear is the survival mechanism. When you are in a survival state, you believe that you're not safe. And so fear is going to basically keep you on the edge so that you can take an action to address whatever is causing the fear. And so basically you can fight, flight, freeze, or phone. Those are the response that we have when we are facing a danger. But fear is there to get you to zoom into something that is very important, right? And so survival state would actually elicit that. And in that sense, fear is actually very healthy. It's a good thing. Fear exists to protect you. The problem is when we have a trigger that keeps on creating fear all the time for no reasons. There's a difference between facing a bear that is going to eat you alive because it's hungry and stressing out because we're worried that we may not be able to pay the bills by the end of the week. The bills situation is what a lot of people go through, or other stuff like that, and it's not a matter of life and death. But as far as we are concerned, we are constantly in that state. That can be the same for rejection or any of those things. Anything to do with anxiety, depression, addiction, anger, is all related to us being in a state where we believe, our mind believes that we are in a state of high danger. It's a matter of life and death, and it's not. It may be uncomfortable, it may be annoying, but whatever we're going through, there's always ways to deal with those things. As opposed to if you're facing a wild animal or someone who is intoxicated with a knife who's trying to murder you, then other than that, we don't need to be in a survival mode. We just believe that we are living in a world that is hostile, full of bad people, and we need to always be on our toes. And this is the result of two things. First thing, unresolved trauma, difficult upbringing, anything that happened to us in childhood, abuse or neglect, but also society and the way it's designed. The way society is designed is very harsh and mean and unkind to our mental and emotional health. So we can work on ourselves, and we can also address some aspect of our lifestyle to tackle the societal aspect of it. But also for some of us, those who can, we can do a bit like I'm doing now to try to influence things so that society changes a bit more every day in the better direction. So William, do you want to be more specific about what you mean by fighting the fear of survival, please? Nom. I ended up sort of homeless, okay, I'm sorry to hear, in the middle of the street with all my belongings. I know how it feels. And he called just to shout at me for 45 minutes straight and end the phone call with, "Are you proud of yourself?" and so on. Yeah, he sounds horrible. He sounds, I mean, I can understand him if I was going to see things from his perspective. But from your perspective, I can really remember how it felt for me as well. Similar situations. And it's bloody horrible. Nom. Fast forward 3-4 years to last week. My father told me something really hurtful that made me realize he still thinks very lowly of me and that he has understood nothing about what I have been through. Yes, he had understood nothing. He had understood. He had understood. My English is all over the place today. He didn't understand anything. And he never had. So why are you still expecting him to understand? This is the thing. I need you to realize that whatever you wanted from him, he never gave to you. Stop expecting. Stop holding on to something that never worked in the first place. Let go of him. Again, as long as you want to convince him, as long as you feel that you need to have his consent, his approval, you will keep suffering from him. And you have a choice. You can stop this. This is my, just one thing, please. This is my alarm telling me that I should post my TikTok video, my second TikTok video of the day. So I'm going to do it now. Just give me 1 second, please. And it's out. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. So yes, accept that that person that you see as your dad has never done a good job at being your dad. Don't see him like your dad. He was someone that was there who is still dealing with his own baggage and trauma. He's not someone that is grown up. He's not someone that is emotionally mature. He's not someone that is able to give you anything because he's still struggling with his own things. He's not able, he's overwhelmed. He has always been overwhelmed. Before you were even born, he was overwhelmed, and he has not sorted himself yet. And so, let go of him. He's not your responsibility. He's the adult. He's the one who should be looking after you, if anything. So yes, let's see the next comments. William, I think in my case that I don't like being used by someone else. I want to feel free. Yes, we all do. We all need freedom indeed. William, where can I find more about you? About me? Well, I am on TikTok and on YouTube. I put 3 shorts every day on each platform, and I try to do my best to do at least 2 live streams on TikTok, sometime more per week, and generally it's in the evening, and 1 on YouTube Saturday afternoon, like now. But I plan to do more if I have the time. If you need more details about me as a therapist and coach, there's a link on my bio to my website, and I offer a free discovery call on Zoom to anyone who would like to inquire about working with me. So it's half an hour, it's free, and we just talk about bits and bobs, and we find out whether or not we can work together. So if that's what you're thinking about, there is a link. Go on my profile somewhere on YouTube or TikTok, and there's a link to my website on both, and from that website you can send me an email to organize a free discovery call. Nom. That really hurt, but I don't know if it was horrible enough to break contact opinion. Yes, of course it was. Of course it was. You know it. If you listen to your heart, you know it. It's just the belief that you're thinking, he's my dad, oh, no, he's not your dad. He's someone that was there when you were born. And this is what I talk about with my clients who go through similar situations. It's important to realize that And this is the point what I was talking about at the beginning of the live today. Not everyone had parents. Some of us had adults with trauma, authority, and extremely poor levels of emotional intelligence. You didn't have a parent. You had an adult with trauma and authority. That's what you had. And so think about it like that. You didn't come from your first family. You came through them. You came from the universe. You came from something so much bigger than that. They're there to make you happen at the start of your life physically, but they never give you any emotional support. So in that sense, they were never your family, right? I don't know about your mom, but at least your dad, based on what you say. And so change how you look at him and realize that you owe him nothing. And that will be a great, great move for you in the pursuit of your self-healing. William, Omnom, sending you hugs. Thank you, William. Omnom, the trauma was caused outside home, but my parents could not support, protect, or help me. Okay, so this is it. The parents' job is to help you, to protect you. And if they can't do that, at least they should get you to feel that they are trying their best and that they care about your feelings. But based on what you said about how he talks to you, it's clear that he's not doing this. William, oh, you in London? Yes, I am in London, but I work on Zoom, so I work internationally. Most of my colleagues in my profession do this, and it's very, very, very handy, and it works just as well. Diogo, message retracted. Omnom, my mum is ill and lives with him. We can't meet outside of there. I don't want to lose her because of him. You know, you can find ways maybe to talk to her without having to deal with him. You can change the way that you deal with him. You can still see her, but you don't have to react to him. You don't have to try to convince him. Ignore him. Be polite, but don't. What you can do is to work on yourself so that you don't have the same dynamic between you and him. So when you may see him, say hello, shake his hand, whatever, good morning, goodbye, and whatever he says, say, all right, whatever. Don't react to him. As long as you react to him, he can feel emotionally that he still has control over you because you're reacting to him. So instead of that, take it with a pinch of salt. And we can talk about this. It's not easy, but we can work on that. What you want to do is to see him just like a regular bloke. He's just a regular person. He's not your dad. He's got nothing on you. See him like an old man who is bitter, who is angry, who suffers, and he's talking a lot of nonsense. And so whatever he says doesn't matter. It's just blah, 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 just noise in the background. And so that will allow you to see your mum, and he can ramble, and it doesn't matter. He may even get angry and say, why are you not answering to me? But you can work on that and say, you know what? I've got no anger. You say what you have to say. I disagree with you, and it's not a problem. And again, I understand that's not easy, but it's something that you can develop. It's a skill that you can work on. So that you can still have access to your mum, despite your dad being so toxic. Diogo, thoughts on Carl Jung? I think that he's a very clever person, and many of the things that he talks about do make sense and are still used a lot within my profession today. A lot of people from the past talked a lot of nonsense, and now we have debunked a lot of things that we talked about, so we know. But Carl Jung, as far as his theories are about, are still very useful. There's some elements about dreams. I'm not sure about this, but anything else to do with our shadow parts is very, very, very powerful and useful and accurate. Omnom, thanks William. Pranav, I have enrolled in an MBA program. Things are moving so fast, but I can't make real connections here, and it's making me anxious. Okay, so so you want to connect with more people, but you have so much things to do. So what you need to realize is that your time and your mental energy is limited. Every morning as you wake up, You're going to choose how you're going to invest that energy, that time, that focus. And so you can plan this. You can decide, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to put maybe 60% in that, 20% in that, 10 in that, and 5 and 5 in that. And that's how you organize yourself. Raise an awareness of what you're going to do, and make sure that you learn how to stick to that plan. If you don't, you're going to just get sucked into the momentum of life, and you're going to end up every night thinking, oh, it's already the end of the day. Every weekend, it's already the end of the week. Every month is the end of the month. Just like that, every year is the end of the year. And suddenly you're at the end of your life, and you didn't get to do the things that you really wanted to do. So if you know that you need to connect with people, if you want to work on your anxiety, you need to invest time and energy and focus on that. It's important. If you believe that you have some level of anxiety, you must address this as a priority. Because whatever that you want to create in your life is going to be affected, influenced by how you feel about yourself. And so even if you think about your MBA, your studies, or if it was work or anything at all, you need to be able to optimize your mind and your energy and your time to do those things. And if you're anxious, it's like I don't know, you have a boat and there's a hole and the water is getting in. You're leaking. It's not a good analogy. You're leaking the energy. You're wasting it in the wrong places. Anxiety is extremely consuming. And that's why focusing on your well-being is not only good for you, as in feeling good, but also it's good for your productivity, because it's going to allow you to be more efficient at learning, studying, working, doing whatever that you want to do. So if you can't make a real connection, find out how to make a real connection. Change your mindset. So we have two different types of mindset. We can have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. A fixed mindset, I can't do this, it's too much, it's too hard, I'm overwhelmed, I can't. Growth mindset is, how am I going to find out? What can I make out of this? How can I make this better? You want to ask yourself the right questions, the empowering questions. If you tell yourself, so basically your mind is a series of questions and answers. So when you choose better questions, you get better answers. Whatever answer your mind throws back at you is going to reflect the nature, the quality, the energy of the questions. So if you ask yourself, if you think, why is it so hard? Why can't I make any friend? Why can't I connect with anyone? The answer that your subconscious mind is going to give you is, because you're a loser, because no one likes you, because you are not enough, because you are stupid, you are ugly, or whatever. Whatever that you believe, whatever that your parents, your teachers, whatever voices that you have in your head that is negative about you is going to come back and answer that for you. But if you ask yourself, this is what I have, what can I do about this? How can I make it better? What can I learn? How can I grow? How can I find information to connect and to meet people? How can I address my life and change it a little bit more every moment, so that I'm creating a better life for myself over time? That's what you want to do. Ask yourself better questions. Change your mindset, right? Does it help, Pranav? Sam, are you Tibetan? No, I'm not from Tibet. I was born in Paris. My parents are from China, and I live in London, in the UK. Omnum at William. I am fine, but last week was tough. If I break contact, I want to do it level-headed and have a mature conversation, at least on my end. Okay? You don't have to have a mature conversation. You don't have to prove him anything. You don't have to be mature. You don't have to be saying things that make sense to him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he thinks. This is what you want to get your head around. It does not matter. As long as you believe that it matters, he will control you. And you will keep suffering as you have always been suffering from your interactions with him. Cheesy Bite. Hi, first time catching you live. Fantastic. Thank you for your content. Thank you so much. Do ask me anything if you feel like it. Omnum. I did not want to insult him and walk off in a rage. You know what? If you feel like, do it. Let go of that. You have something. If you have some anger, it's not a bad thing to let it out. It doesn't matter. It's healthy for you to allow this to happen, but also for him to understand how bad he has hurt you. It's a message. When you're angry, sometimes angry is not a bad thing. Sometimes angry can be healing, and it can also help people understand what is going on, right? Anger, if you contain it, is going to eat you from the inside out. It's going to affect your health. It's going to affect your well-being and your mental and emotional balance. So I'm not saying get into a fight, but if you have to express yourself, don't feel bad if you have to let it out. It doesn't matter if he's your dad or not. I think he deserves it, really. And also, it's not just that he deserves it. He deserves it not in a negative way. He also deserves it because if he can see you being angry, in that moment he realizes, gosh, what did I do? I created that. And that may help him think about it from a different angle. William, I am in London too. That's why I asked. Okay, fantastic. So we have the same time zone. William at Omnum, as he said, if he can't talk in a mature manner, then it won't be possible, right? Yes, true, absolutely. And it's not just that he's not able to talk in a mature manner. It's that he's mentally somewhere else. Mentally and emotionally, you don't share the same reality, the same past, the same memories, the same world. You're in a different bubble. We all are. But sometimes some of us are very far away from where we are. Sometimes we have an interpretation of reality that is quite close to other people's. But some people, their version of reality is so far away from ours. So it's easier not to talk to them because we don't even speak the same language. We don't see the same thing. We don't experience the same things. Omnum, I just wanted to be able to say what I need to say before leaving if he will listen. That is, thank God I don't live with them. Okay, so that's a very good start, right? Diogo, thank you, Diogo. Omnum, also I could ignore him if he didn't interrogate about everything all the time and nag about everything. Absolutely, you can ignore him. You can absolutely do that. There's no right answer. There is a right answer. The right answer is for you to listen to how you feel. Listen to your body. Listen to your emotions, to your feelings. Listen to your intuition. And follow what your body and your intuition tells you one moment at a time. That's it. This is the right answer. When we think about a right or wrong answer, we're thinking about an answer that is going to cover forever. I mean, you take a choice. It's going to be forever. And this is why there's no right answer within that context, because things change each moment. But if you listen to your intuition, one moment at a time, your intuition will always tell you what is right for you in this moment. And then you do it again, the next moment, and again, and again, and again, and you are developing a better skill at connecting with your intuition. It's a great tool to have. Your intuition will always tell you what is right for you. It will always give you the right answer for the situation that you are going through in this moment. Sorry. And so there is a right answer. But the answer that you're looking for doesn't come from here. It comes from your gut, from your intuitive intelligence. Omnum, and that constantly leads to fight. Okay. Lorenzo von Matterhorn. I'm very nervous about having a daughter. Okay. I have a son, but raising a daughter is something I'm nervous about. I always feel I will never be enough for her. Okay. So what you can do is to challenge your own thoughts. You want to realize that you have thoughts that are the result of everything that happened to you up to this point. We have a bank of memory, and everything that we have heard, whatever we've been through, whatever belief that we have, are going to create those thoughts. But not all of your thoughts are true. Not all of your thoughts come from a good place. Not all of your thoughts are even useful in any way to you. So you want to learn how to basically have a detective mindset and filter your thoughts. You don't want to believe everything that you think. You can do this by having a detective mindset and grab a thought. And so maybe the thought that I'm never going to be good enough to look after my daughter. And so ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? As is in objectively true? Can I back it up with evidence, with data? Is there some template that tells me that indeed I can never do this? Second question, is it useful? Is it useful for me to have a sort of thought? And finally, number 3, is it kind? If you ask those 4 questions and you don't get a yes to each question, then dismiss the thought. It doesn't matter, it's just a thought. Choose another thought, choose the opposite thought of it. Choose the thought that are going to make you feel better about that situation. So let me talk about this. I will never be good enough to look after a daughter. Is it true? Is it categorically, objectively, logically, analytically true? No. Why? What do you need to do to look after a daughter? You need to make sure that she's healthy, that she's got food, that she learns some basic of human behavior, that she feels safe. You can do this. How do you do this? You're a grown-up, you have intelligence, experience, knowledge, wisdom, you're an adult. You can find all of those things. You can learn if you don't. You have intelligence, and you have intuition, you have power. You can find those things, you can learn, you can do those things. It's easy. All you got to do is to change your mindset about it. You can do this. And so is it true? No, it's not true. Is it useful? Is it useful for you to think that you can't look after your daughter? No, it's terrible. It's making you feel bad. It's making you doubt. Not helpful, not useful, not productive. Is it kind? Definitely not. And so, think about that thought and create a space between you and that thought and realize, look at it from the position of the adult, from the position of the grown-up. The reason why you're overwhelmed is because in that moment, you're looking at that thought from the position of the child that you once were. You are being emotional. You're overwhelmed by emotion, by doubt, fear, uncertainty. And so when you are overwhelmed by feelings and emotions, you are into an emotional state. And your emotional state is your inner child perspective. In that moment, you are the child once again, feeling hopeless, helpless, not knowing what to do. Because of whatever happened to you, because of whatever experience you had, that I get you to believe that about yourself now. And so, without going into therapy and psychoanalysis or hypnosis or any of those things, just by addressing your thoughts, you can make it happen. If it's really, really bad, then you may need some professional help to delve deeper into your subconscious mind. But if it's just a thought that you have that is creating a little bit of discomfort, you can tackle it like that. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it useful? Is it kind? And realize that not all of your thoughts want to be good to you or are useful or even true. They're just thoughts, right? Right now, I want you to think about a pink elephant. I want you to visualize in your mind a pink elephant wearing a pair of rollerblades. So the pink elephant is dancing with the rollerblades on some disco tracks, and there's some orange snow falling at the same time. And so this is not true. There's no pink elephant on rollerblades dancing with some yellow or orange snow, right? You're just maybe visualizing it because I'm putting that image in your head. Your thoughts are just thoughts. They're not real, that's not true. Some of them come from a good place, some of them tell you the truth, but not all of them do. So the best thing for you to do at this point in time, unless you have some real trauma about it, in which case you would need some professional help, then try this and see what happens, right? Does it make sense? Does it help at all? Lorenzo. William, it hurts, I'm sure. Cheesy bites. Lorenzo, you're going to be great. Lorenzo, heart. Cheesy bites. I want closure from my narcissistic father, but I keep feeling bad about how I am showing up. I recently came to the thought that I hate him. I don't know how to show up for myself. What do you mean by showing up for yourself? If you hate your father, it's because you need to hate him at this point in time. The hatred comes from fear. The fear comes from hurt. The hurt comes from him. And so if you hate him, it's because there's a part of you that still feels unsafe. So the hatred is there to kind of maintain the anger, the defense mechanism, because you still believe that it's still going to hurt you in some capacity somewhere here. Right? And so if you feel hateful, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you are, that you're bad. It just means that you're human, and it's very, very normal. And so accept the hatred, feel it, let it out, and do some work on yourself so that you can move on from hatred to anger, to hurt, to eventually thinking, oh, I am safe now. I am an adult now. No matter what he's been doing to me back then, he's gone. Now I'm an adult. Whatever he says, I'm going to say, no, F off, shut the F up, I don't care. And then, just like that, remind yourself you have power. And so, if you remind yourself that you have power, you don't need to be scared. You don't need to get angry. You don't need to hate him. I hope it makes sense. Everything is a mechanism that comes from somewhere, and it's all there for a reason. So if you understand it, instead of judging yourself, then you will feel better about yourself. Is that what you meant, cheesy bites, or not? Please do correct me, if not. Lynn at Omnom can relate. I have a very toxic older sibling who always singled me out for his criticism. I never understood why. He knew what would trigger me, but I was accused of being too sensitive. Okay? So now you know, Lynn, that you are never too sensitive. You are sensitive, and it's a good thing to be whatever that we are. Right? When people are saying that you are too sensitive, they're actually angry at you because you are able to see the truth. And they don't want this to be spread. They don't want people to know what you see of them. And that's why they're trying to get you to feel bad about yourself. They're gaslighting you. You are too sensitive now. He is an a-hole, or something like that. Would be more accurate. Cheesy bites. Dealing with him puts me into a painful/vulnerable place. Indeed, and that's why the best thing to do maybe is for you to create a space between you and him for now and focus on yourself. Omnom at Lynn. Yes, I remember. I think I was in a couple of lives where you talked about that. I sent virtual hugs to you too. Okay. Cheesy bites. Everything tells me to continue protecting myself. So there you go. Listen to everything means it's your intuition, right? And maybe the fact, the memories, maybe if you think about what happens, is telling you to do this and just then do it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to be at peace. You deserve to look after yourself. And you deserve to stop allowing toxic people to ruin your happiness. Lynn at Omnom, sending you virtual hugs back. Omnom at Lorenzo, your worries are already a good sign that you will do your best no matter what. You can do this. So a lot of support for you, Lorenzo. It comes from a good place, right? So I know that you're thinking, what do they know about me? And it's true, they don't. But they're still coming from a good place, and this in itself is precious, right? Sometimes all we need is for someone to believe us. And so if let me think, if no one believes in you, you can believe in yourself. But right around now, you have already a lot of people who already believe in you. Just spend some time thinking about it. Here's the thing. If you don't hear anyone that tells you that they believe in you, you're going to be trapped in your head. And the only voice that you're going to hear are your inner critics. You can't do this, you can't do this. So it's like hanging around in a room full of people who are negative and toxic, who are always putting you down. So this is going to be not only exhausting, but this will hypnotize you into believing furthermore that you are not able to do this. And so hang out with people who are telling you that they believe in you. And even if it doesn't feel like it, it will start to counterbalance your inner critic. So I believe that you can make it happen. I believe that you can do this. I absolutely do. And so do everyone else on that live, right? Cheesy bites. Also, instead of thinking you will never be enough, focus on the effort of trying to be good enough. I'd say it comes from a good place. Thank you, Cheesy bites. But you don't want to focus on the effort of trying to be enough, because effort and trying already are words that are heavy. Holding back. You are trying and you made some effort. I'd say replace effort by focus, and instead of trying, just do it. You don't need to try. Either do or you don't do something. when we try something. So I know that I'm communicating, and I know that you come from a good place, and it's very kind of you, and I appreciate it, Cheesy Bites. But I'm just being more precise because that's what I do. Replace the words, because words are very important into how we feel. Our subconscious mind creates pictures every time that we hear or say or think a word. So choosing the right words does make a difference over time as we are learning how to choose better words into our every thought. And so don't try something, just do or don't do. When we try, we are saying, okay, I'm going to do something 50% and see what happens. If you do, just do, and then the result will be either it worked or it didn't work. It doesn't matter. Just do. And next, what was it? Don't think about effort. Think about focus. Yeah? And so now that I said that, I'd say just focus on doing doing what you can do in this moment. That would be how I would put this all together. Think about each moment. What can you do in this moment? So if you are not feeling good about whether you can look after your daughter or not, what can I do to feel better about myself in regards to that thought? So you apply the things that I talked about by asking yourself the 3 questions. Is it true? Is it useful? Is it kind? And then you can, the next moment, choose a better thought. Think, I can do this because I've done other things. I have created other achievements that are very similar to that. I've looked after my son. I had some relationship with a lot of women, so I understand the other gender. They're not alien to me, and if I don't, I can learn. I can ask. I can ask people, how did you look after your daughter? Can you tell me? Because I'm not sure. Your friends can tell you, can help you, can teach you. Right? Be active into your growth, into your process of addressing your problem. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Cheesy Bites. It's a great thing to try to do. Keep at it. Cheesy Bites. Safe but not overly shattered. Josiah Lawrence. Hello, Josiah. How do you define maturity in general? My mentor thinks maturity is defined by how well one deals with the changes and chaos of life. What do you think? It depends what we call maturity. I mean, maturity is a vague word. Generally speaking, when we talk about people, I don't really like to use that word unless we talk about something specific. So when I talk about emotional maturity, it means when you understand your emotions. That's all there is. As opposed to still being in a place of reacting to them and judging them or repressing them. But a person, I believe, should never be mature. Mature is old, ancient, boring. It's pedantic, it's self-righteous. You should be mature, don't be so childish. No, be whatever the F you want to be, right? Don't allow anyone to tell you what to be. So if you feel like being childish, it's okay. It's good, it's great to be childish every now and then. When you are joyful, happy, when you are creative, when you want to be silly, all those things are fantastic. So when we talk about humans and people, I don't like personally to use the word mature because it sounds very self-righteous to me. But I use it within certain context. And so when it comes to emotional intelligence, I do talk about people who are emotionally mature or not. And in that sense, what it means is whether or not they understand the emotional mind or not. It's that simple. So that's how I define maturity, but I don't use it at a general level. I don't believe that there's any point to it. People are just doing out of habit because they heard that when they were younger from their adults back then. So now that they're adults, they do the same back to other people. Be mature. No, do whatever you want to be. I don't want to be mature. I never want to be. I never want to be old. I never want to be one of those people who are self-righteous, telling others what to do and how to be. But that's me. Do what you want. Do what feels right for you. So yes, I hope it makes sense. And also, when that person that you're talking about says that being mature means being able to deal with the changes and the chaos in life, again, to me it's very self-righteous. It means that you can only be mature and good enough and adult and acceptable in society as an adult if you can deal with chaos. And it's not kind. So many of us, we struggle with our mental health. So many of us, we have baggage. We have some trauma that are inherent. We have some conditions. So many of us have anxiety, depression, and so telling people you're not mature enough because you can't deal with your life, it's just very unkind from my perspective. I personally don't find it kind. And I understand that people don't do it consciously to hurt people's feelings. But I believe that the way those things are phrased keep on hurting people in some capacity, and we want to change the narrative. Or at least that's what I want to do. That's what I'm aiming to do through my contributions online, like here, for instance. Does it make sense, Josiah? What do you think about my definition of it? Omnum at Lorenzo. The biggest thing, in my opinion, is to be a friend to them to a certain degree and make her feel safe in a way that she could talk to you about anything and what Cheesy Bites said too. Okay, so when it comes to children, we have some basic needs. And we're all the same. Everyone needs it. So the first element, if you want to make sure that you're a good father to your future daughter, number one, she must feel safe with you. So safe means never any danger, no punishment, no fear, nothing harsh. All of those old stuff that people used to do to the kids, all those things ruin us psychologically and emotionally. So we don't want to carry on old rotten habits that are toxic. It's always been toxic. And so even if people say, yeah, that's the way I've been raised and I'm right, and they're not all right. Let's not go there, but I think you have an idea. First, she needs to feel safe. And then next, she needs to be seen and heard. So basically, you need to accept her and love her for who she is. You need to see who she is. You need to recognize what she is. And so whatever that she is, allow her to express herself. If she is someone that is very extrovert, it's okay. If someone that is rather introvert, it's also okay. See them for who they are and get them to understand that I see how you feel, I see how you express yourself, I see how you are. Next, you want to accept them. Accept what you see of them. And so accept them unconditionally. Accept them and know the difference between their potential and who they are and their behavior. Their behavior as a child is going to fluctuate based on what you teach them. And so up to the age of 7 or 10, more or less, they are very malleable, and there's nothing that you can change about their behavior through your own interactions with them. So feeling safe, being seen, being accepted, and finally, they need to feel supported. So they need to be supported in whatever that they do. If they like something, if they enjoy something, the worst thing that you can do to your kid, or not the worst, one of the bad things that you can do to your kid is to tell them, if they have a passion, don't do this, it's tough. Get a real job instead. Study, become a doctor or a lawyer or those sort of things instead of being an artist. Because now you're not supporting them. And so, 4 things. If you can provide those 4 things, safety, seeing them, accepting them, and supporting them, that's it. Now, they know that no matter what happens to them, they have your support. They have you, they can trust you. They're not alone. They have a parent that is strong, that is safe, that is organizing things to make them happier. You need to accept your children as they are, and you need to give them love unconditionally. So love must be unconditional. Love must not come at a price, at a cost. It doesn't have. You don't want to say, I can love you if you do this. If you are the first in class, if you win that competition, if you make me proud. Kids must realize that they are loved unconditionally for who they are. Otherwise, they will become people pleasers. All their life, they will seek external validation. I can only be happy if what are they thinking about me? How am I coming across? Do they like me? Success will be based on external validation, as opposed to doing things that are lifting us from the inside out. And so you can instill all of those things from the beginning. And if you can give those 4 things to your daughter for the first 7 years, solid, she'll be equipped with everything that she needs to have a fantastic life from the get-go, all of her life. And that's why we suffer, because most of us, we don't get this. And again, it's not that our parents do it on purpose, they just don't know. we didn't know much about mental health, and even now we're still learning and discovering things, new things all the time, every day. So there you go. Cheesy bites, that sounds like a good definition to me at Josiah. Omnom at Lorenzo. Lorenzo, you are right, thanks a lot. I never saw you live before. My wife loves her father so much. I guess that's what I want so much, and my child isn't even born yet. So there, well, I haven't gone into that direction. We can address the reasons as to why you may think that about yourself. It's a whole different conversation altogether. But what I wanted to do is to make sure that I could give you something practical that you could apply straight away without necessarily going into that sort of depth. But if you want, we can also talk about this. The reason why some people believe that they're not good enough could be for so many different reasons, but it's always because of some of the things that happened to them in childhood. Someone said something to them, or they heard something from someone that they look up to, and they created a belief out of that. And so, because of that, now you think that about yourself. So we could also address this if you wanted. It's up to you, but you have to ask me. Lakshya Mathur. Hi Didi, been a long time since I talked to you about my troubles. I remember your name. I have been thinking about my past problems and how I could have handled the problem differently. Is it okay to do that? Yes, absolutely, we can talk about this if you want. Absolutely, I'm here for that. By any means, please. Lorenzo, sometimes fear of failure harms a lot of people. Yes. So the fear of failure comes from the fact that you are still allowing the voices from the past to keep putting you down in your head. Some people have told you a lot of things that are very hurtful. Maybe your parents, maybe your teachers, maybe everyone, maybe society, maybe the things that happened to you have created that dialogue in your head. But what happens is that now those voices are still echoing and reverberating in your head. And you believe that it's your voice, and it's not your voice. It's their voice. And so you can realize that you suffer from self-doubt, low self-esteem, because those voices keep on telling you, you're not good enough, you're rubbish, you're not going to make it, you're going to ruin everything as you've always done, whatever it is. And as you allow those voices in your head, you are self-hypnotizing. I'm not enough, I'm rubbish, good things are not available to me, and now you're going, it's true, I believe that. And you can feel this, and you can to fulfill that prophecy that you have created for yourself by allowing this voice to keep going in your mind. So you can change that. It's a process. It's different for everyone, but the idea behind this is for you to learn how to talk to yourself in a better way. Instead of listening to a recording from old people from the past, grab the mic and talk to yourself as you would your best friend. If a friend was going to tell you the things that you think about yourself, you would support them. You tell them, "No, it's not like that. I believe in you." Say that to yourself. And over time, you will start to shift how you see yourself. And as you start to shift how you see yourself, you start to feel different about yourself. And as you feel different about yourself, you'll be able to do other things, because now you are changing your personality. Lorenzo, cheesy bites, thanks. Thank you. Lorenzo, thanks at Omnum. Lorenzo, she's due in 1 week. Wish us luck. Good luck to you, but I don't believe that you need luck. You'll be all right. If you can remember all the things that I talked about. And remember, this live stream, I'm going to leave it on my profile. And so when I go live on YouTube, all the live streams that I do stay in my profile. So you can always replay the live. Just go on my profile in the live section, and you have all my live ever since I started. And so when this one is downloaded, just replay, and you can retrieve all the information, all the advice that I've given you. Josiah, hello again. Lorenzo, thanks at Cheesy Bits. Lorenzo, bite. Cheesy Bites, heart. Cheesy Bites, very good point, thank you. Lynn, haha Didi, you are completely right. He is my sensitive nature. No, he is something. Maybe a-hole, is it what I said? My sensitive nature allowed me to be empathetic with everyone, even complete strangers open up to me. I try to put myself in others' shoes and not judge. Lynn at Lorenzo, perhaps ask your father-in-law how he navigated bringing up his daughter. Yes, absolutely. And ask your wife what she valued most about her dad growing up. Very good point. Absolutely. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, absolutely. A very good point. You will be a good dad as you are willing to learn. Indeed. See, a lot of great advice. So Lorenzo, you have a lot of specialists in your life. Ask them, right? Lorenzo, thanks, Lynn. I'm definitely going to. From what I can see right now, he worked as hard as he could to give her the best life, even if it wasn't as lavish as what others had. Kids don't care about money. They don't care about lavish or abundance. They care about being safe, being seen, being accepted, being supported. And if you're happy in your own skin, regardless of how much money you make, she will be happy. Kids who are obsessed with money, they are so because their parents are obsessed with money. If their parents are very superficial and only thinking about stuff, they will teach that to their kids. But originally, kids don't care about that. They just want to be with people that they love and feel seen and accepted and supported. That's it. And if you can give that to her, again, unconditional love, so you can learn how to, I don't know if you may know it already, but most of us, we don't know. Learn how to parent your kids by understanding children psychology, as in address the behavior. Not the person. Right? Never shame your kids. Always make sure that you understand the difference between what they do and who they are. So for instance, someone who understands that would never say to their children things like, you're a bad boy or you're a stupid girl. They will say, you've done something bad, you have said something stupid, so that they can learn how to change. And there's a lot of things to do, but I can't tell you about it, but maybe I don't have to. Just ask me what you feel you need. And I believe that we've talked a lot about your situation. I believe there's a lot of good advice already. Let me know how you feel about it, please. Lynn at Lorenzo, it's not the lavish things that makes a good parent. Indeed, it's spending quality time with them and listening, etc. Yes, absolutely. I brought up sons alone after divorce. Remember moments, not gifts. Yes, absolutely. Cheesy bites. Yes, time and space to be herself safely. Yes. Cheesy bites. At least that's what I would have wanted as a little human. But here's the thing, it's not just little humans. Those needs, we still need them as adults. We needed them more as kids because we were beating up our understanding of life then. So whatever happened to us in childhood determines our whole adulthood. So that in that sense, it's more important. But as adults, we have the same need. So if you haven't heard all problems from the past, we're still going to suffer from our needs not being met then, now. We need to feel safe. Anxiety is the opposite of safe. We need to be seen, to be accepted and supported. For this to happen, we need to connect with people and we need to be ourselves and we need to be authentic. And society teaches us the opposite. We must be fake, we must pretend, we have a mask, we must tell everyone how successful and happy we all are, even though we are dying inside. And so, yeah. So that's a good element to bring to the conversation. We must remind ourselves that we are still humans and we still all need those four things. If we don't, that's a priority. Because until we do, we're going to be in a survival state. And we're going to not only not be able to make the most of our mental potential in life, but also we're going to suffer emotionally and even physically. It's going to affect our physical health over time. Yeah. So P, something in Chinese. I don't read Chinese, I'm afraid. I tried to see if there was some sort of translation option, there's not. So I don't understand what you said, PRG, I'm sorry. Do you want to speak in English? Can you? Or can you use a translator app to type the things in English? Lakshya. Hi, Lakshya again. I have been thinking about a person who behaved badly with me and also hurt me with words that wounded me. I became like a sheep and would forded instantly with him that is the problem. Okay, so so tell me with a short bullet question, if you can phrase the problem, what do you want me to help you with? What do you want? What is the problem? But so I understand the situation here. Someone has spoken to you in a way that has hurt your feelings. How do you want me to address this? What is your problem? I need to understand where you're coming from so that I can help you out. Alexia. Omnom. I got randomly invited to a cookout, so I need to leave. All right, okay, enjoy your cookout challenge, Omnom. That sounds very exciting. Thank you, Didi, for showing up today and for your advice, and thanks everyone for your kind words. It is all much appreciated. Thank you so much, Omnom. All the best to you, and see you next time. I will be back, I hope, unless my body says no. I'll be back next week, and maybe even more, I don't know, depending on my schedule. But thank you for this, Omnom. Your support is always appreciated. Omnom, I wish everyone a good time. Peace out. Same to you. Lynn at Omnom, enjoy. Omnom, Lynn, thanks. Cheesy Bite, thank you for giving me the tools to show up for myself through your responses to everyone. Thank you, Cheesy Bite. I'm glad you appreciate this. Okay, so now I'm coming to the end of the thread. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. And if anyone has any more questions, I'm more than happy to stay longer. If not, I will slowly say my goodbyes for now. Laksha. Problems is that I feel strong enough to resist a person who behave badly with me. Okay, I understand. I think you want to be stronger when people are talking badly to you, right? And so if I could know what sort of things, are there some patterns of conversation that hurts you more? Generally speaking, you don't want to be necessarily stronger. What you want to do is to realize why you are reacting to what they say. When someone says something to you that is hurtful, you hurt not only because of what they said to you, you hurt because they are reactivating an old wound that exists already within you. And so I, for instance, I've changed a lot, but I used to be very insecure. It's a thing that is connected with my conditions, rejection, sensitive dysphoria, borderline personality disorder. So basically I used to take everything personally all the time. And it was very, very bad. I was obsessed. Why did they say that? Why did they say it like that? Why did they not say that? I was obsessed, thinking about it all the time, worried about what people think about me all the time. I was extremely insecure. And then it took me some time to understand this, but the reason why I felt like that is because I believed that I was not enough. If someone says to me something that I believe, I'm going to go along with it. If someone tells me something that I don't believe in, it's not going to affect me because I don't believe it. And so there's an analogy that I borrow from someone that I saw on social media, a very clever one. Someone might say to you, I hate your blue hair. I think that your blue hair are extremely ugly. You're so stupid with your blue hair. But if you don't have blue hair, you will say, I don't know what you're talking about. You're not going to feel hurt. You're only going to feel hurt if you have blue hair, right? And so it's the same with the things that people tell you. When people put you down, when you say things like, when they say bad things to you, if you get hurt, it's because they are reactivating some old wounds that exist already within you, because you believe that about yourself. So what you want to do is to find out this belief, and you want to address the belief instead of addressing the people. Right? As long as you believe those things about yourself, they will hurt you every time they say it. Every time you think it, you may even get hurt without anyone telling you but your own internal voice. And so address why you feel like that. Now, there's another element. It could be fear as well. So if you've been traumatized in the past and people are overwhelming and scary, they can hurt you in a different way. So that's why I'm saying, if you could tell me what sort of things get you to react. What are the things? Are there some topics that come back that often get you to be hurt? Laksha, yes, patterns are insulting me, demoralizing me. So that's a whole different thing. Do you allow a lot of people to insult you? Do you allow a lot of people to talk to you like that? Because Here's another perspective. Maybe they're not good people for you. Maybe you could just spend time with other people who are nice, who are kind, who are caring about how you feel. How about that? Do you have to spend time with them? Who are they? If you can give me more, we can delve deeper into that conversation. Cheesy Bites. Gotta go. You are doing amazing work. Thank you so much, Tilly. Thank you so much, Cheesy Bites. All the best to you and see you next. Laksha. Also, I face problems in talking to people. I am often quiet in social interactions and don't know what to say. I feel that I may something bad that hurt the other person. But how do I keep negative people away from me? Choose better people. Choose better people. There are millions of people out there, zillions of them. There are people like you. There are people with whom you can connect easily without changing anything about yourself. Find them. Anyone who is hurting your feelings, first what you can do is to, so there are different angles to look at it from, but maybe you can tell them, do you tell them, it hurts my feeling. Can you speak to me in a different way? Because if you don't do that, they may actually be talking in a way that is normal to them without realizing that they are hurting your feelings. So there's that. Now, another element about this is that maybe you have difficulties because maybe your brain is different. So do you believe that you are neurodivergent? Some of us, we find it very difficult to understand social interactions just because of the way our brain is designed. So if that's the case, again, find your people, find your tribe, hang out with neurodivergent people, or people who understand them well. Because otherwise, anyone that you come across, that you're going to talk to, you may get hurt by them because you're not going to understand how to interact with them, and that's going to lead to them speaking in a way to you that is going to hurt your feelings. Laksha, can you tell some indicators of good people? They're not people who are inherently good or bad. It's about the right people for you. It's about people who are good in regards to your needs, in regards to who you are. So it's for you to find out. But the two things that I covered last are quite important. Do you communicate? Are you able to tell them, I don't like how you speak to me? Because if you don't do that, they may hurt you without doing it on purpose. And the next thing was to address whether or not you may be neurodivergent. Do you believe that you may be on the spectrum of autism or ADHD perhaps? Because if that's the case, it's totally different. It's a whole different conversation. But regardless of that, how do we find good people? It's about realizing that some people are better for you than others. So we do that by stop allowing those who are not good for us. Don't try to be liked or to be liked by people with whom it's not working. Don't try to fit in a group that are mean to you. And maybe find out people who have the same sort of interest as you as a starter. So you have one commonality. So what you enjoy in life, and hang out with people who have that same passion, and that'll be a good start. That's it. What do you think? Laksha, I actually tried telling a person that he shouldn't talk the way he did to me. He laughed and said, grow up, don't be a baby. So this is him telling you that he's not your person. It's a good thing. You said something, and thanks to that, you had an information. The information is that that person is not for you. Those people, they have a very poor level of emotional intelligence, and so they suffer from that as well. But because you have your things to deal with, you don't need to hang out with other people at this point in time in your life. So avoid that person. Simple. But keep on telling people, because at some point you will come across people who will say to you, I didn't realize, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to rephrase what I said, and those people are the ones that you're going to keep. That's it. I'm going to go slowly. Again, if you have any last comment, I will address them. But I just want to take myself out gently and slowly. If you need any more details about me, I am both on TikTok and YouTube. I put 3 short videos every day on each platform. The newest ones are on TikTok, and there's always a little delay in regards to the ones that I post on YouTube, so that there's a bit of variety, something different if you are using both platforms. And I go live on both YouTube and TikTok. TikTok evening, weekdays, whenever I have the time and the energy for it. And YouTube Saturday, afternoon or evening, depending on my schedule. With YouTube, the videos stay on my profile, so you can always replay the video if you wish. And also, I would always do my best to schedule it in the morning. So with YouTube, on Saturday morning, if you subscribed to my channel, you will be able to see whether or not I have scheduled a live at what time, if you are free and you wish to join. Okay, so that's it. If you need any details about me as a therapist and coach as well, you can find my details on my bio. There's a link to my website, and I can offer you a free discovery call on Zoom if you wish. So, part of that, I think that's it. Let me see if there's any last comment. Bottom feeder, your shorts are very helpful. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. For one moment, I thought what you were talking about my shorts. I was like, what? My short videos. Yes, I get it. Thank you. Laksha, great. Can you tell me how to deal with a toxic person? I recently learned that toxic is not bad. Bad person is bad all the time, but toxic is sometimes good to you and sometimes bad. So toxic, so there is not. You need to differentiate. There's a person, and that person has behavior. A person, no one is 100% toxic to everyone all the time. What is toxic is their behavior. They're doing things that within a certain context is toxic to certain people. So when I say toxic people, I mean the people who are toxic to you at this point in time because they are behaving like that. But it doesn't mean that they are necessarily toxic. No one is. Even the worst people in the world, they're nice to some people in their life. Or maybe they don't like people, to some animals. But we want to separate the people from their behavior. Because if we don't, we're going to judge them and label them. And not only we're not going to give them a chance to change, but also we're going to live in a state of fear, believing that the world is full of bad people. The world is not full of bad people. The world is full of people who are doing their best every day to make sense of their life. And sometimes they may behave in a way that is nice to some people in some context, and in some ways that are not nice and toxic to some people in some context. So we want to zoom out and understand the bigger picture. So how do you deal with a toxic person? You create a space between you and them. The best way to deal with things is to let them go through their journey. Don't get involved. Don't add some gas on the fire. Don't make it worse. You don't need to do that. If you do that, you may feel like it if you are angry. And it's a way for you to let out of your anger. But I would always suggest to work on your anger instead, if you can. You know what? I think it's time for me to go, because I've been here for quite a while. Laksha, I want to talk to you more. Do you mind if we continue this next time? I will come back next Saturday. So if you can make sure that you create some space Saturday afternoon, and again, I will schedule it in the morning so you know what time I'm going to go live. I would love to give you more advice, but I think it's time for me to resume my my day. I've got a few bits and bobs to do. And so hold on to that thought. Do get back to me and remind me if you come back next week, or if you see me on TikTok about the conversation. I will give you more information. Okay. And in the meantime, remember or replay that video to remind yourself about the things that we talked about up to this point. Laksha, much love. You are my favorite. Thanks. Thank you so much, Laksha. Lynn, I'm heading out now, so wish everyone a good rest of the weekend. It's a great community you have created, Didi. Thank you so much, Lynn. And you're always, your support is always appreciated as well. Thank you, Lynn. Laksha, I'll be there next Saturday. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I'm going to say goodbye. Guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for interaction. Do subscribe to YouTube and TikTok if you can, please. Very much appreciated. Bye, Lynn. Yes. And that's it. If you have anything in mind, write it down. Make sure that you ask me next time. If you know any friends who could benefit from those sort of things, get them involved. This is why I do this for. You know. And then that's it. In the meantime, I wish you a great day or a great evening, wherever what you are in the world. And look after yourself. And remember to be kind to yourself. Mumu, thank you for sharing your wisdom and good heart. All the best. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much. Same to you. And thank you, Lynn, for the thingy. Okay, guys.